if you plan on coming to Prime and my videos have helped you in any way, please feel free to use my driver code on your application. It might help you out. It definitely helps me out. The driver code is DAVIGR. Hello and welcome back to Keep Moving Forward. So, I finished my home time. There's been quite a bit that happened. So, I went to, I'm sorry for that bright light. I went to my physical therapy appointment and he refused to treat me because he was concerned about the loss of strength in my leg and it probably coming from nerves in my back. So there was that to deal with. So I had to get back in touch with the pain center that has been dealing with my lower back issues, and more on that later. But after the physical therapy appointment, I was getting ready to leave, and sometime in the middle of the night before I was due to leave out, my truck quit running. I had the APU on. The APU wasn't running. I noticed a stop in the middle of the night, but I was getting ready to go to sleep. I was dog tired. I figured I'd let it go until the morning. Yeah, I figured I would have to jump it, but I didn't know why the APU stopped. Long story short, the controller for the APU in the truck quit working. You couldn't get it to turn on. So I could still idle, but that burns a lot of fuel. But nonetheless, that's what I had to do. So I let Prime know that I needed to go to the terminal to get the truck looked at. So they arranged me to pick up a load that was going to Arizona, but to drop it at the Prime terminal in Springfield, which I did. But as I got ready to leave the house, not only was the APU not working, but my geotab quit working. Quit communicating with the truck, so I had to run paper logs. And here I am thinking, because both of them went out, that it was probably a major electrical issue. Thankfully, it was not. The shop, which they got me in about 24 hours after I arrived at Springfield, they let me know that the APU quit working, or he thinks the reason that it quit working was because of the remote updates that they do. A lot of the times that it makes the APU go haywire. And all they had to do is they went inside the APU itself in the back of the truck, pulled out, I think, the fuse or a switch of some kind, put it back in and let it reset, and when they did, the controller came on. Well, they also think that when I jumped the truck, jump-started the truck, that the geotab, the control module for it, burnt out when I went to jump the truck. But not all that to say that when I finally got into the shop, it took 20 minutes and both issues were resolved. But while I was there, they had me go to the ACE 2 class. And for those people who are non-drivers or don't drive for Prime, it's literally just a class to manage money in your business. You take this class, they let you know where you could improve on making your money and conserving fuel and more or less not running the roads like an idiot, not going full speed everywhere you go, which for Prime, full speed 65. So it is really hard for me to go under 65. Not and make some of the appointments that they put me on, because a lot of them are pretty tight. And I know that a lot of drivers can relate to this, especially when you're doing regional runs and they're short hops. There's not a lot of time to dick around in between them. So yeah, running 65 is about the only way I have been running. And to be honest, I don't think that'll change too much. Maybe when I get off these regional runs and I quit having to go to medical appointments, I can slow it down a bit, because I'll be getting longer loads at least, to where I don't have to rush around. I'm sitting here waiting for driver lineup to shoot me a load. I had to do a voice chat with my doctor because they refused to do physical therapy. She wanted to touch base with me and find out what was going on. Now, the physical therapist sent his notes to her, which she decided to go ahead and order an MRI, which I know has been overdue. It's been a year since shortly after I first presented problems with my back, since I've had an MRI done. So we've got that scheduled. And then later, after I'm done with wound care, and I'm using a bone stimulator because I had a broken leg. I've probably mentioned it before, but I'll refresh your memory. I'm using a bone stimulator because I had a break in the small bone. I think it's the tibia of my left leg. Because when it broke, it never did heal properly. There's still a gap there. It broke in two places. But I'm using a bone stimulator. And until that's done, which I think they wanted me to use it for 90 days, and I'm at 50 or 60 now. So a little over a month and a half, I should be done with it. And then we will have to see a surgeon to see where we're going from there with my back. It might be a case of them having to open a part of my spine to free the nerve bundles that are there. And if that's the case, then maybe I can walk like a normal person again, instead of walking around like I'm 90 years old. I'm only 54, almost 55. Maybe I can get back to not being an invalid, because that's what it feels like. But the driving is going good. I can still drop and hook a trailer. I can still run the roads. Driving doesn't bother me, not with air ride seats. Hell, I have more problems sitting on my bunk for an extended amount of time. But hopefully all this will get better and resolved, and I can resume normal life. But that's all I've got for right now. I am trying to be more frequent with my videos. It's been about a week since my last one, maybe a little less. I've had home time, and this is my first trip out since home time. So that's all that's really happened. All you guys be safe. Take care of your bodies. Don't wind up dealing with things like I have to do. Especially if you're driving a truck. At the first sign of pain or trouble, get it taken care of. Don't let it continue without finding out what it is. If you can do that, that's half the battle. But, love you guys. Take care. Be safe. Keep her between the ditches. And I will see you later. Bye.